This is breakfast at the monastery. It is 6:30, a little bit after, and I got this bread in this little grocery store yesterday, and I made some instant coffee. It's really nice that there's a kitchen that we could use. We had dinner here last night, and just having a little coffee before I start my day. So last night, sometime in the middle of the night, we heard this really loud noise. Well, I heard it, and there was one other pilgrim in the bunk room where I was staying, and she heard it too, because I heard her get up and kind of say something. And I can't even remember exactly what it was, but it was loud, almost like something crashing and falling. And then maybe 10 seconds later, I heard another noise really similar. And I just kind of figured, well, you know, there are a total of 4 pilgrims in this place, and it's a pretty big monastery. We were in one bunk room, one of the pilgrims and I. There was another room behind us with a door that shut with one pilgrim, and then there was a whole separate area kind of off to the to the other side with another pilgrim, the guy. And so I just kind of thought, well, maybe, I don't know, maybe someone put something somewhere and it fell, or maybe it's, I don't know, something. But when I heard the other pilgrim in my room kind of exclaim, I remembered, and I'm pretty sure it was this place. So this is the Monasterio de San Salvador. And I think I remember reading either on the Camino forum or watching someone's YouTube video. They said that there were ghost stories about this place, and that like, if you stay here alone, beware, because it might be kind of scary, because people have heard things at night. I'm not positive that this is the place, but I'm gonna look it up to see. So then, like, last night, when I thought about that, like, the ghosts, I started to get a little nervous, and I'm like, I'm not getting out of bed, waiting until the morning. So that was the only thing that I heard, but made me wonder a little bit if it's a ghost. So if anyone else has ever heard of this place, so it's the Monasterio de San Salvador in Cornellana on the Camino Primitivo. If you've had experiences with a ghost or have heard about ghost stories here, please let me know, because it would make me wonder maybe if what I heard last night could have been the evidence of a ghost. I'm leaving Cornellana, and here's a view of the monastery where I stayed last night. Oh, it was so amazing. Really a great place to stay on the Primitivo. Sometimes on these paths just through the woods, you don't see a Camino marker for a while. And even though, you know, there's only one path and there's one way to go, when you don't see an arrow or a marker, you do start to worry just a little bit. You're like, maybe there was a turn, maybe I missed it. So I hadn't seen any signs for the Camino in quite a bit, and it's really nice to see this one here. This is Salas. It's about 10 kilometers into my walk. Ooh, it's 10 o'clock. Perfect time for a break. All right, I just finished up a nice long stop in Salas. I was there for a little over an hour and a half, which it's a long time for like a coffee and breakfast break, but I only have a 20-kilometer day today, which, You know, and that's kind of maybe average on the Camino, a little short. It's a little bit short for me, I think, especially after yesterday doing, you know, almost 40 kilometers. Yeah, so 20K day. You know, I started walking around 7:30 because I like walking in the morning, but I am kind of on track to get to my destination. It's only like another 8 kilometers away, a little bit before 2. Or maybe well before 2, and that's the albergue doesn't open until 2. So basically I had some time to kill. So I stopped in Salas and I had some breakfast, a really good cafe con leche, wandered around a little, kind of rearranged stuff in my pack. So the short day today, it's sort of a little bit out of necessity. So just kind of the way the stages are divided and like places to stay. I kind of knew that by doing a really long day yesterday that I would have a short stage today. Would have made a lot more sense to divide them up evenly, but I wanted to say that monastery, and I'm really, really glad I did. So it's also sort of nice, I think, to just have a relaxing day today. I don't have to rush. I can now take my time on this next stretch. It's gonna go uphill. You can't tell that that's uphill. It's I think a really like, you know, not very steep grade up, but it kind of climbs a bit until I can get to La Espina, where I'm staying tonight. And a lot of pilgrims will stay, you know, at the end of the second stage, or maybe third stage if they want to do like smaller stages, will stay at the albergue in Bodinaya, and that is a kind of famous albergue on the Primitivo. David and I believe his wife run the albergue, and it's just like this beautiful place that has like great Camino spirit. One of the best on the Primitivo, if not the best. But I stayed there when I walked 6 years ago, and especially this year, considering its reduced capacity, there are not that many beds. I kind of thought, like, let other pilgrims have the chance to stay there. So I'm going just a little further past, maybe 1 kilometer further on to La Espina, and there is a pretty highly recommended albergue there. So I think that will be a nice spot to stay in. I remember this hill. There's a lot on this Camino that I don't really remember, but I definitely remember. So it's this kind of long climb. Been this long climb up from Salas toward Bodinaya and La Espina, but it's been, you know, the grade has been steep, it's been kind of gradual, and then it rounds this bend, kind of sitting here on a break, and then it goes steeply up this really rocky slope. And I have a memory of once it kind of turns around there, stopping and being quite tired. So anyway, I thought I'd let those two people pass me. There are a lot of locals out for a walk today. It's a Saturday. It's a beautiful day. I haven't seen any other pilgrims today. So very quiet in the pilgrim world, but it's sort of nice though to have a lot of this trail to myself. All right, ready for the climb. Now I feel a little badly because that was a steep climb just there. And now it rounds and goes up pretty steeply again. And I told a couple pilgrims about just kind of this long ascent to Bodinaya, that it wasn't that bad. It's like, it's not steep at all, it's gradual. But actually there's the steep part, so whoops, spreading misinformation along the Camino. This is the sign for my albergue, still 5 kilometers more, which maybe this last stretch took me a lot longer than I thought it would, because already it's 1 o'clock. 5 kilometers. If it's easy-ish walking, might take me about an hour. So it'll probably put me there right at 2, which might be great timing. So I just came across a little pilgrim rest area in La Espina, which is perfect because I still have like 15 minutes until my albergue opens, and I can just hang out here. So there's a seating area, you know, all the little Peregrino touches. And then we've got these vending machines. I could get a coffee. I could get a sandwich, chips, snacks. If I need some toiletries, what else do they have? Oh man, they've got t-shirts. There's some cold drinks. And there's an outdoor area. There are bathrooms. I'm liking this a lot. I think I'll hang out here for a little bit. My first Aquarius of the trip. I'm very excited. I love this drink. It's kind of like a Gatorade, but it's a really nice drink to rehydrate. Very cool and refreshing. This is the room that I get to sleep in La Espina at Albergue El Texu. And I believe I'm gonna have this room all to myself. There are only 2 other people staying here tonight, and there are a few other rooms. So this one has 2 bunks and a single bed. And it's in this beautiful property. Oh, it's so nice. I really like it already.